welcome to Utah.
Thank you.
How has the first couple weeks been?
It has been so exciting. I feel like I was really excited to finally get here and get settled and meet everyone. And so it's been really nice to finally have a couple weeks, feel settled in, and get to training. So it's been really great.
Yeah, speaking of training, what's the on-field stuff been like? How are you fitting in with the other players, with coaches and all that?
It's been really easy to adjust. I feel like all the girls have been super welcoming. And so it's been easy to just kind of jump in. You obviously still need to learn like how everyone plays and stuff, so that's always going to take some time to adjust, but for the most part it's been really easy.
Yeah. How did you land on Utah as your next destination?
Yeah, so with free agency I was really just looking for somewhere that held a really high standard and was really professional and kind of had a really clear vision for the future. And this just seemed like a great fit. I talked to the coaches and I really liked what they were about and what they saw for the future. And then I knew a couple girls on the team and they had spoken very highly of it. So it just seemed like a great fit.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Tatum, I kind of really like the development of a player. I love your story because, and maybe this won't be as fascinating as I'm setting it up to be, but I think it's amazing. You started with Chicago as a supplemental roster player.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience because, you know, that's not always a clear path, but yeah, just talk about your start with Chicago.
Yeah, it was a really unique experience. So I tore my ACL the end of my senior year of college. So missed out on the draft, which was super disappointing, obviously. And so it was kind of a moment where I was like, okay, do I take the next year and like hope that I can go try out for a team? And I had been in just like summer camps, just like randomly training with the Red Stars. So that was like obviously a place I was familiar with. And so I took the next year, rehabbed my ACL, kind of just really put everything into it, hoping that it would work out. And so then when I got invited to the preseason camp, it was just like, okay, this is my moment. Like this, you just use this whole year for this moment. And so being able to make the team that year and then getting contracted and kind of being able to turn into the player that I had visions for was really exciting and really gratifying.
You just took a few of the words out of my mouth, but before I get to that same season, your rookie season, you also had the experience of playing in the championship.
Yeah.
Talk about that because how many rookies get that opportunity, not only to be on the team, but you played in it.
Right. I mean, to even make the team, I feel like that was my goal, and to like just progress into playing and being able to even just subbing in, I feel like, as a rookie that year. And so being able to actually start in that championship game and get playoff minutes near the end of that season was really exciting. I feel like it was kind of a surreal moment. It was almost, I feel like 2 years like on the dot that I had like tore my ACL, so it was right around just like full circle moment that I was like actually playing and feeling super confident like myself again. So it was very cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
And I also bring it up because I think it's also very interesting to look at like where you went from there. So not only that experience of making the full-time roster, but the fact that the next season you play almost every single match, you're named to an NWSL Best 11 team. I know there's a lot in between that time. You know, we look at it in terms of like highlights on your resume,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of training, there's a lot of grit and determination. But talk about, I mean, you've already done it a little bit, so I'm kind of beating you to death on this, but for the fans who maybe don't know your career history, talk about you as a player and what you put into your game and the type of teammate you hope to be here in Utah and what the fans can expect from you.
Yeah, I think as a player and a person and a teammate, I'm always very authentic. I feel like I always try to bring my very best genuine self to every situation, and so I think that has really helped build connections with all different types of players on every team. And I feel like especially in Chicago, is playing against and with, especially the first 2 years, like some elite players, and I think being able to learn from them as a rookie and just be around them every day, locker room, see how they train, really taught me how I wanted to be as a veteran player now. And so I think just building connections with players and my teammates is like my biggest thing on the field. I feel like I play best when I know my teammates the best, and I am able to build those connections, and I know how they're doing and they know how I'm doing. And so I think I'm a really personable teammate, or at least that's what I tried to bring. Especially the last couple years, I was a middle player where I wasn't a veteran yet, but I wasn't a rookie anymore. So it helped me be in a very middle position where I could bond with both types of groups, and I think it gave me really great perspective about how to approach different types of players and different teammates in every situation. So I feel very versatile in that as a teammate.
And last question for me, you just gave a word that makes me think of this. You talk about versatility. That back line, or at least what we're seeing could be the back line, the potential for it has a lot of versatility.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of opportunities for players to find their way back there.
Yeah.
What do you see Jimmy doing with that? What's your hopes? And who have you kind of gelled with already just in this short amount of time in preseason?
Yeah, so I've had a few off seasons training with Kate since we were both in Chicago together, and so I think her and I gel really well together. We know each other's kind of strengths and kind of know what the other is going to do in moments, so I think that's super helpful. As for the versatility in the back line, I feel like every season I've kind of played almost every position. I've played in the 4-back, I've played in the 3-back, as an outside, as a center, and so I feel super confident just rolling with whatever Jimmy's vision is and being ready to kind of fill whatever position I can.
Cool. We're excited. Thank you.
Me too, thanks.
I'm always curious about the perception of the soccer culture here from other places in NWSL. Obviously, we're very proud of what we're trying to build and what we built once before with the Royals, and now having great facilities, and then Jimmy coming in. So I guess just kind of take us through that from your perspective as an opposing player previously, and then maybe seeing some of the things that happened here, and then hearing about the opportunity you had to come in.
Yeah, so I think you guys were like, as an expansion team, you never really know what to expect.
Right.
So when I was in Chicago, you kind of go into these environments like this one and the new teams in like Bay and San Diego, LA type of situations, and you don't really know what to expect. And I feel like it's a lot of new situations, and it does take time for those programs to kind of figure out what culture they want, kind of build on the vision that they have. And so I think given last year, not that it was like the first year because y'all were back
Right.
a few years ago, but I think coming into what the league is now, I think they're in a really great spot now, and I think I was really excited to come be a part of this because one, the facilities are so great. I feel like they have so many resources that in other places I was really looking for and hopeful to find in my new home, and so that was what was most exciting to me. I think building off of last year, they have a really good foundation once Jimmy came in, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
So the facility is probably a great recruiting tool in this kind of new era of NWSL. We've heard some of the other players talk about playoffs or bust kind of being the goal. I know we're only a couple weeks into preseason, but that seems to be the mentality. How do you, as somebody who's been around the league, like how do you help kind of implement that, and what are the steps that cannot be skipped to make
Yeah.
that?
I feel like I have the experience of being in a playoff team almost every year, and especially the first year making it to the finals. So I feel like I have the experience of playing in the playoffs, playing in a final, being a team that fights for the last playoff spot, being a team that's comfortable. So I feel like I have a different perspective from a lot of the players here, to where I know what needs to happen or what we need to kind of fight for in certain games or situations, or big games, midweek games, kind of what we need to do to like really focus in on when we need to really kick it and like get down to business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As you guys visit the league, you see different markets and everything. When Chicago came last year, it was our inaugural game with 20,000+ in the stands.
Yeah.
Is there something that excites you about that and this Utah Royals fan base?
Of course. I feel like Chicago is definitely a different situation where we were kind of fighting to get people in the stands, and so coming here, especially last year in that first game, and playing in front of a crowd is always so exciting. And I feel like one of the first things I heard about this environment and this community is that they really love the soccer here, and I feel like that really excited me. I feel like there are a lot of opportunities to get in with bringing kids in, bringing families in. I feel like it's a really great community around here, and it was really exciting to see them fill the stadium. And so I only hope that we can just continue to do that and like keep pushing, because it's one of the most exciting things going to other places, and now it being my home field, I feel like it's just even more exciting. Yeah.
You'll have to ask Paige about her pink scrunchy club, the girls that she has.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
I have a little, the white bows
I
kind
was
of
gonna
stuck
say,
in
so you got
me
something
for a
in
little
the
bit,
first,
so
there you go.
maybe hopefully I'll be able to make my own little crew out there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Have you had any dirty soda yet?
Any what?
Dirty soda?
I
Oh, yeah,
have.
swig.
I went to swig with some of the girls, I think last week. They had asked after training, like, have you gone there yet? And I was like, no, kind of just been waiting for the right time. I also didn't want to go alone because I was like, I don't know what to do here yet. So I wanted someone with a little more experience. So the girls took me. I'm a big Dr. Pepper fan, so that was like super exciting. It was great. I have no complaints, no notes.
Awesome.
You'll fit in just fine then.
Perfect.